In September of 2019, I became 12 years cancer-free from stage 3A breast cancer. And about a month later, I was watching this feel-good TV movie, and it talked about how they had regrets. And I was thinking about, do I have any regrets? And I realized from my battle with cancer, I still had one regret, and that was I haven't seen more of the world. 12 years later, I still haven't seen more of the world. So around October of 2019, I decided to plan a trip across the United States with my two daughters. They both have license or permits, so they can help me with the driving, which is very important because my back hurts when I'm in a car driving for too long. So now's the time to do it. They're both home on the summers for 2 more years. So I wanted to make sure that we take this and go with it. So I planned a meticulously, what's the word? I planned very well a 36-day trip from Seminole, Florida to Forks, Washington. Now, I was supposed to be to do the Redwood Forest because that's on my bucket list. I figured, well, if I'm going to do this trip, I'm going to check off some things from the bucket list. Grand Canyon, Redwood Forest, and take my kids to Colorado Springs, the Garden of the Gods, Pikes Peak, those type of things. So it was supposed to be Redwood Forest, but my youngest and I are huge Twilight fans. I know. So we decided, since we're close to it, we're going to go to Forks, Washington. And to save money, originally we were going to camp when we can. And I bought all camping equipment, and then hotels and motels in bad weather or when there isn't a campsite near us. I had excursions along the way, hiking trails, everything I can possibly think of to experience United States and record it to this YouTube channel. Now, I understand that a lot of you are concerned, like, oh my gosh, this is a public place. What are you doing, Miss Harkins? Like people know that you've left your house. Never fear. The boys are staying home. I have fur babies, Sweet Pea the dog and Spooky the cat, and they are well taken care of. So the men are staying home, so to take care of the animals and apartment sit or whatever. Then in January of 2020, I booked the hotels for the big city like New Orleans, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Colorado Springs. But then, of course, COVID-19. So thankfully, Travelocity and AAA gave reimbursements. So that was very good. I got 100% back. Really, technically, our trip was just postponed. I refused to cancel it just yet, so I rescheduled it for last week. We were supposed to leave May 31st, but I wanted to wait until most states were in phase 2. And so I rescheduled for last week, and then Tropical Storm Cristobal and the Black Lives Matter movement, which definitely matter. So we had to postpone again because I booked 2 hotels and 2 excursions, and all of those would be rained out. So what I want to say, though, before I proceed with how to safely travel in today's age, is this. The change is not going to happen until we start to vote. All of us. Anyone that's 18 and over, you have a right and you should exercise that right to vote, not just in November. That's just the president. All they do is veto or approve the laws. What you really need to vote for, and which I haven't in the past, very seldom, hi Spooky, is legislators. Our legislators, our House of Representatives is every 2 years, and our senators is every 6. Now, I never saw the importance until recently, and I'm not going to get political here, but the Senate had approved the impeachment, and then the House of Representatives, nullified it. And so it showed how important, whether you agree with it or not, how important our House of Representatives, our Congress, men and women, are in order to get the right people in office that support what you support. So personally, going forward, I'm going to vote every 2 years for our congressmen and women, House of Representatives. And they have to prove that they are making the change for the better for everyone to be equal. It is ridiculous what is going on in America. And we need to show support for all races, sexes, genders, whatever bias that you have. We've come too far, I thought, to have this regression. We can't change the past, but our present can definitely change the future for the better. So go out there and vote every 2 years. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to get political. I kind of got a little political, but whatever. Back to the trip. In March, I turned 50, and my doctor wanted me to get that dreaded procedure all 50-year-olds have to take. So COVID postponed that for 2 more months. So I turned 50 in March, and I was supposed to get that procedure, but of course they canceled that. So a couple weeks ago, I got the COVID test to get this procedure done, and it came back negative. So I picked new dates again. And the day before we were supposed to leave the second date, my kid got sick. So no fever, no coughing, but body aches, congestion, and an earache. And her eye got swollen, one of her eyes. So of course, we got her tested. That came back negative. So yay, it was just a head cold, sinus infection. And that just goes to show she was wearing a mask. She was washing her hands religiously. She just went out to a restaurant and a beach, walkway, like a boardwalk, and with her friends, and apparently she got a head cold. So we lucked out on that one. It can spread that easily. So and as a cancer survivor without lymph nodes on half of my body, I'm one of those at-risk people. So you might be asking, why are you taking this trip in the middle of the pandemic? So I wanted, what are you doing? She's playing in her box. We're all going a little bit stir crazy. So I wanted to show my subscribers and you, the public, how to safely quarantine, self-isolate yourself on the road. So I started with doing research. I watched the news. I was on World Health Organization and Spooky, CDC. I read every article I can come across, looked at all the statistics, wanted to find out the best precautions to take. So I'm going to show you those. Okay, so I made 27 of these. Now, these are supposed to be for just us protecting you guys. Masks are not, that are handmade, are not protecting us. When they, and last week, World Health Organization came out with an article that says they should be 3 layers, and what those 3 layers should be, or 4 layers. So it should be a cotton against the skin, tightly woven cotton, like a quilt material, and then a poly blend on the outside. And then in the middle is another cotton layer. So I have done what is equivalent to 4. Now 4 helps protect you a little bit more, but it's a little bit difficult to breathe sometimes. So what I did is I did the cotton on the inside and the poly blend on the outside, but I put a thick flannel in the middle, as like almost 2 fabrics. So I have 21 of these. Then last 2 weeks ago, I got 200 gloves. Spooky. I even got, okay, this might be a little embarrassing, toilet seat covers, because let's face it, I'm not touching those. And some things you can't do squatting. Okay, let's come. Okay, so you know those little wine containers that bags they give you in the grocery store when you buy multiple bags of wine? Well, look what else they hold. Whoops, let me get this. So as you can see, 3 containers of Clorox wipes and 1 fully issued of hand sanitizer. Now, I will say that I know what you're thinking, like, where did you get the Clorox wipes or Lysol wipes? So, as you know, I'm a teacher. Many of you know I'm a teacher. And over each year, in the beginning of the year, I buy 10 things of Clorox wipes for the school year. So when our school year was cut in half, when I cleared out my room, I got as many as I possibly can that I had left, and I brought them home. So that's what we have left. I have 3 fully and 1 more downstairs with the camping equipment. So what else do I have? Masks, gloves. This is all our camping equipment. This is our caddy. We all have, I have Clorox spray somewhere in here, and bleach. Yeah. Good use of Sheen bags. In there is Clorox spray and bleach. Also bleach. So here's what we're going to do. I also got 2 spray bottles. They sell them at CVS of hand sanitizer. So anytime before we go to a restaurant, if we're going to go sit down, we are going to call ahead to make sure that they have what their precautions they're taking. Are the employees wearing masks? If they're not, we're not going there. We'll just move on down the road until we find one. The liquid spray hand sanitizer is we plan on spraying the doors before we touch them. The Clorox wipes, we're going to wipe down all tables or countertops. And then, of course, wear a mask until we're eating. And then showers, we got the Clorox spray. We're going to spray, I can talk. We're going to spray down everything that is in the bathrooms, the showers, the doorknob, the knobs. Spooky, I hear you. She wants to go up of my rib. Hold on. So the doorknobs, the faucets, handles, Anything that can be sprayed down with Clorox wipes in the bathrooms, we will spray down. Also, when we use the public bathrooms, we are going to wear our gloves at all times and dispose of them before we leave properly. The Clorox wipes are also to open handles with, and the hand sanitizer we'll use regularly, especially when there isn't a sink available. Our excursions are now outside. They're hiking trails. They are exploring. A lot of the caves and places are closed, but if it's a national park, they are open across the United States. There are some limitations. Some trails are closed, so it's always good to call ahead. I got laundry detergent in there. I got a whole bunch of quarters. We plan on washing those masks every 5 days or earlier if needed. And I don't think I have to explain about the toilet seats. I think those are self-explanatory. So instead of being isolated in my house, our plan is to be isolated in our car. I plan on documenting all of our excursions along the way. Granted, there will be a time lapse in between, but I want to show you the world, especially in the United States this year as we experience it. I'm completely out of shape. I know this is something that is unprecedented for me, but it's something that I really want to do, and something that I'm proud to do, and give this as a gift to my 2 daughters as well, and experiences like we'll never have again, and be able to check off some of those bucket lists in the middle of a pandemic and do it completely safe, as safely as possible. Not completely safe. There's always risk, as my daughter found out and we found out when she got a cold with taking precautions. So, you know, it's just, we got to be very, very careful of what we do. We're going to camp out as much as possible, as to, you know, hotels have germs that we might not be able to get to. So by using our own camping equipment, we feel a lot safer knowing that it's clean. I bought sleeping bags, I bought a hammock, I got 2 tents, I got 2 air beds. And so, yeah, it's gonna be a good experience. So stay posted for our travels. We leave soon.